Morning crew. Today we're talking mental endurance, how to train your mind to go the distance, whether you're in the gym or building your business. Let's get after it. Mornings in the lab. Yep. Good morning, lab crew. It's your boy Keith Bilous here. It's about training the mind to stay sharp and focused when the going gets tough. We're building business athletes. I got something that's going to make you all lean into perhaps this idea of relatability. Yeah, you walk around, you're looking at a rock star or a teacher, and then you see them in the normal world, you're like, oh, they're just like, you mean they put their pants on the same way that I do? I'm going to go pull out the old Tank Top Wednesday today and throw the tank top on because I am the proverbial bodybuilder here in the group.
Could you imagine 8 on the run, Pete, while he was running, just intense guy. But he has everything lined up from how he does his nutrition to recovery and everything. He's just a wealth of knowledge, this guy.
Less brunches, more crunches. We tend to become unrelatable to humans. The funny thing is we all put our pants on the same way.
I'm results driven.
Yes.
Not time driven. You can have your bike, you can go out on the weekends, you can have fun, and you can still eat right and train.
Continue being your pure, unadulterated self. Don't hide. Bring it out. Share it with us. Talk about it with us. No judgment, full of grace. This is what I enjoy doing. To hell with all of you.
Just because you're at this really high standard doesn't mean you're not human, and doesn't mean you don't do things that everyone in their daily life does. Yes, you can get to this point. You don't lose humanity along the way, and it wasn't a perfect road to get there.
Let's be totally honest. I'll be totally honest. My first addiction was sugar. My second addiction was painkillers. And I dealt with addiction I've beat addiction many times, and that's part of, in terms of my habit stack. A lot of my problem solving came from managing my own shit.
What do elite athletes and top leaders have in common? Endurance means showing up when it's uncomfortable, taking the extra minutes to reflect and calibrate, making the tough calls when there are easier options. The question isn't if you'll succeed, it's if you're gonna keep going no matter what. Because you win by outlasting, not outworking.
This guy represents everything there is about endurance.
When you hear me talk about 270 some odd miles you ran, is that normal for you? Is that an average day, or was that a massive accomplishment for you when you accomplished that? Robbie?
I think every time you run a 24-hour race, which is you're going around in one circle the whole time, it probably takes a couple of years of your life. But like those years at the end that you're not too fussed about, rather than the ones that you're living at the moment.
It's almost like everything quiets down, slows down, and I envision like this little portal, like this little hole in time, and I just dive through it. And when I get in there, I don't want it to end. The pain is gone, it's slow, it feels good.
Anyone can run well when they feel good. But the man or the woman who moves best when they're in that world of pain, or who squats heaviest when actually that moment when every fibre of your body's telling you to quit, that's the opportunity. I'm there for the moment where it sucks, like quite heavily, and I want to be in that bit and be like, you know what, this is why I'm here. This is what I wanted to find my limits. You may have worked a little less, little easier in training than Kelvin did. You may have been genetically less gifted, but you're also going to run for 2.5 amount of hours longer. So it's a different challenge.
So if you want to build muscle and get bigger chest, bigger arms, bigger legs, slow reps are going to be the way to go. Balance both styles in your routine. Slow reps build the foundation with muscle size and endurance, while fast reps help you unlock explosive power.
Maybe 50% of athletes don't feel like they need it. Like if you're coming from a place of strength, you might see less value in working on your mental strategy. A lot of people are stronger mentally than they think they are, and they might not be noticing that it is a weakness. So they've got to work on it.
Okay, this is fucking growth. Like, I got this. And so every time that I'm doing that, I am training my brain. You just keep showing up and fucking crushing it. You are training your brain to get better.
The most successful people don't get to those household name levels without training their mental.
If you're in a high stress environment, it impacts your performance across the board, be that from live sport, whatever you're doing.
By changing verbiage, you change your mindset. To me, that's like visualization.
When it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're fucking tired and your body is just like basically on a fucking trip, what are you going to do at that point?
Never let a good tragedy go to waste. Use it as an opportunity to improve.
Protein is what helps build and repair, so you need to get that in. It gives you that longer lasting form of energy as well. Ultra endurance sport is going to need more than just carbohydrate. You're going to need long-lasting fuel at some point, or you're not going to make it.
Optimum performance in the endurance environment, carbohydrates are still king.
Ketosis is not a high-performance state. It's what we were doing with my client that's a swimmer in Iceland. Removing carbohydrate to reach a state of ketosis, that is by no means going to put you in a performance state. It might give you some kind of lower level stability, but if you're looking to break records, I would never ever recommend you get yourself into ketosis and try to do it with anything endurance.
You need to personalize. If you don't personalize, it's just a book message. And I agree that carbohydrate is still king in terms of long-term performance. And it's the combination and types of carbohydrates. Just like you train your mind, you train your physical body, you train your gut. Energy availability for when you need it. So it's performance on demand.
You really need to enjoy the process, because if you don't enjoy the process, it's going to frustrate the hell out of you.
The magic bullet is figuring you out.
Yes.
So that's the magic bullet. So what's going to work really well for you may not work really well for someone else. When you look at elite level, that's those elite level athletes. You're not normal humans. It's just different.
You don't have to be the best. You just need to be you. So if you're holding back because you don't feel worthy, I get it, because I've been there. I'm still there. I still fight it. But let this be your sign. Somebody needs what you have.
We started talking about how sometimes we look at other people, we look at athletes, we look at folks, and we don't know if we relate to them. And then today we learned that super strongman, super bodybuilder, super athlete John Anderson likes to enjoy his cigars. And I talked about my enjoyment for cannabis and so forth.
I had a fucking large pizza and a Mediterranean salad like every day. And look, you want to get your fats in there, just take some fucking olive oil and just dribble it on there. I'm happy with where I'm at, and I'm going to keep fucking working hard. I think you just got to be smart about what you're doing and what your goals are.
Scandinavian candy is probably my biggest vice. Respecting recovery and respecting, similar as you might, like in the gym, respecting the time between those higher stress situations. Be that like the time between races, the time between harder workouts, the time between the intervals and stuff like that.
That is not always going to be exactly how you feel.
There's no one way to do it. There's only your way. And the goal has to be figuring out what are the ways that work for you.
Vices are okay until they affect your performance negatively. Then you need to do something about it, but they're okay. We're normal, we're human.
Let's not think about the word authenticity. Let's think about what does that word represent. And that word represents 86% of consumers say that authenticity is a key factor when deciding which brands to support.
I'm fully falling in love with his authenticity, like his unapologetic self. And I'll tell you right now, it's giving me the confidence to do the same. That to me is the power of authenticity and a personal brand. I've perhaps embraced my quirkiness. I've embraced my eccentricities. I've had to learn to look in my own mirror and recognize that I like who I am.
It's a totally different thing to show up and say like, here I am, world, fucking take it. I don't care. If you don't like it, screw off.
I don't care what the rest of the world is thinking. That's a really magical place to be in, because that's when I really believe you can authentically say, like I did a couple of days ago, no, or you can authentically say, yeah, let's get into that. I think we're just going to see the rise of authentic humans, the power of being a real authentic human to balance out the technology surrounding us. I think is going to be more important than ever in a world of AI generated content, in a world of many inauthentic, questionable things. Being real is more powerful than ever.